Alright guys, at the supermarket, here's some osake, some, well, what would be called sake in the States. Nihonshu is what they call it here, rice wine. And let's see, I think we got more types of rice wine. Now these are a little bit more economical because they're in a paper pack and you get more volume, whereas this is, I guess, something that you would, I don't know, put on the table if a guest came or something. Alright, let's see what else we got here. Got some wine. This is kind of an interesting wine right here. I've never actually tried it. Akadama. It's like a sweetened red wine, and as you can see, it's pretty old. I've actually read about this on Wikipedia, and it was kind of interesting. It's got a bit of a history. I really should try it sometime. Other types of wines, all the way to boxed wines right here. And let's see what we have here. Some, let's see, what is this? What is this? I think, yeah, I can't really tell you what this is. Low calorie, low sugar. Yeah, I don't know what this is. It could be some mixer. Or yeah, I don't know. Sorry. But we got mixers down here. Club soda. Stuff for your cocktails. Now this is the economy white liquor. This is, wow. I mean, if you need cheap booze, this is where it is. 16 bucks for basically 4 liters of this 25% alcohol or 20% alcohol white liquor. I guess this would be made out of, it could be potatoes, or some of it's rice. Comes with like a little ginger ale, so you can mix it. Now this is some Chinese liqueur, and this is what you call, I'm drawing a blank right now. Well, it's made from, it's not, oh, wristwatch check. I am drawing a blank right now. Jesus. Anyway, it's made from, this is like a Kyushu one from Kyushu. It's made from potatoes. Shochu, that's shochu, sorry. Drew a blank there for a minute. It's got them shochu, different kinds of shochu. I guess this is like the economy shochu right here. When I say economy, it's just like, just not packaged in a nice bottle. I don't think you would give this to somebody. But this is, you know, this is what you would drink at home, and you might get it in like a nice bottle to give to somebody. So you can pretty much get the same stuff, but just slightly more economical. And then this is the shochu for, you know, presents and whatnot. This is what you would buy in a restaurant here if they've got bottle keep. Sometimes you can buy one of these in like a restaurant, and they'll put your name on it, and then every time you go you can drink on it, and they charge you, I think, for like the ice. But as you can see, it's about, you know, $11-12 here. And if you get it at a restaurant, it would be, you know, something like 30 bucks or 40 bucks. And I want to say, it depends on the place, but sometimes they would charge you, they'll like pour it for you, and then they'll charge you a couple hundred yen for like a pouring fee. But it is your bottle, and it's got your name on it, so that's kind of cool. I've done that before. You know, the novelty wore off by the end of the bottle, and that was enough for me. Shochu, pretty strong stuff, let me tell you. It's got a strong taste. It's not so strong percent-wise. 25% is what it is. Now this is, we're getting into the whiskey here. 3 years old. This is, oh no, this is, it's not whiskey. This is, you can see right here, very old Japanese blended cask shochu, 25%. So yeah, it's still in the shochu section. And I believe this might be, well, down here these big bottles are usually rice wine. But yeah, shochu is, well, I guess it's an acquired taste. I mean, it's got a real kick to it, even though it's low in alcohol. You can drink quite a bit, and well, I'm not going to say you can escape a hangover, but more so than you probably could with Nihonshu, with rice wine. Which, you know, if you go easy on the rice wine, I find that's pretty nice. But if you're gonna get crazy, yeah, I guess shochu is probably a wiser choice. I think it's a cleaner alcohol. It's got less sugar in it, I want to say. That's probably easier on your liver. But look, I mean, if you drink, you know, too much of anything, you're going to get a hangover. You know, strangely enough, whiskey doesn't really give me too much of a hangover, but I hear that's kind of a, you know, quote, dirty spirit, in the sense that, you know, it's American whiskey, at least American bourbon, is put into, you know, charred casks. And, you know, if you've ever gone to a whiskey distillery and you've seen them take the whiskey out, it's just full of this black ash char. You can really taste it. It's kind of disgusting. And I can imagine it's good for you. Whereas something like vodka is supposed to be a pretty clean spirit. But, you know, well, I was going to say vodka gives me a hangover. That's not really so true. Maybe it's just when I drink vodka, I just really go at it. Yeah, I guess the bottom line is you're always going to get a hangover if you drink too much, and there's so many other factors, how much food you've had, and you know, if there's sugar in it or not, that gives your liver another thing to deal with. So yeah, let's move on. You got some beer here. Oh, by the way, no laws. You can come at this store at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the morning and always get beer. You know, sometimes countries they have laws about when you can buy things, and you can buy things any time of day. Here's a selection of international beers, which is kind of cool. Down here, you've got the Japanese bottled beers. I love these big bottles. Sometimes you go to a restaurant and they'll put this on the table, and you'll get a couple glasses for the people there. Kirin and Asahi, those are the two sort of biggest brands here. Of course, you got the Coronas down here, some international brands, and some, looks like some microbrew brands here. Oh, even Budweiser, which is kind of interesting. Lemon beer, never had that. This is kind of a cool beer. It's got a cat on it. I mean, you know, you guys know how much I like cats. What is this called? Suiori no Neko. Wednesday's cat. Wednesday's cat. All right. That's what that means. Of course, you can't go wrong with a dragon on your beer. This is a before lunch beer, I can tell. What else do you have? Cans. Now this is sort of you know, 6-packs. 6-packs are, you know, not cheap. I mean, this is kind of a quality beer right here. About $12 for a 6-pack. They do have, talls are really popular here in Japan, and you know, I don't know why you'd go this size when you can go this size. When you're drinking in the street, you got to have a tall. And for the 4-year-old, a small. I'm kidding there. Let's see what else we have. So we've got some cans. Also, we've got, you know, non-alcoholic beer is actually really popular here. This is, well, no, this does have alcohol. By the way, whenever you see this symbol right here, that means osake, because some of this stuff, it looks almost like juice. In fact, let's go to the shochu section, and if you look at some of these fruity things like this, I mean, it of course, it is alcohol, but you could easily mistake this for non-alcohol. So they really try to make it obvious. This is osake, 5% right here. Shochu is sort of a fruity, drink, really popular with women. You got 9%. That's pretty strong stuff. Hence, strong zero. I don't know why they call it zero here, but 9% alcohol, and I think some of it even goes a little bit higher. Although 9% is all I can see here. You got highballs in a can, and just a different type of Chuhai. You've got and I think lemon is the typical flavor, but you can get different types. This is orange right here, and peach. It's just basically like a fruity, fizzy drink, and really popular with women. Of course, you got the tall versions of it all the way here. Yeah, strong 8% right here. What do we have here? Sparkling grape, 3%. I've seen this as low as 1%, and that's definitely for the, young woman just starting to drink market. 3%, yeah, I don't see any 1% here, but all right, let's move on. You got some unchilled Chuhai. Well, judging from the amount of Chuhai here, I guess it's hugely popular. More highballs, where this is a 9% one, whereas this is a 7%. Different brand. You got Suntory here, and this is Torii, which I think is a division of Suntory. I've got a Jim Beam highball. Whiskey is huge here. I want to say that 30% of all the bourbon made in if not more, comes to Japan. I remember hearing a figure when I was in Kentucky that just a ton of it comes to Japan. They love their whiskey, so they love their highballs as well. Again, more strong Chuhai. What do we got down here? 8%, 9%. I want to say that I've seen up to 12%. Or I could have been hallucinating. Katakuchi, that means sweet and mouth, and Katakuchi, well, I want to say that, yeah, that would be sweet, whereas if it's dry and mouth, that's, of course, the dry taste. So, sometimes wines will have, like, this, and that would be like a sweet wine, but the dry kanji would be like a dry wine. Let's see. Oh, yeah, well, here's the non-alcoholic, Chuhai up here, and the beer down here, and it's surprisingly popular. I mean, I get they've got zero tolerance as far as drinking and driving goes. I mean, you can have just I want to say any sort of percent of alcohol, and you're screwed here. Absolutely no tolerance. So I think this is popular. If you are driving to, say, a outdoor barbecue, you might pick this up for yourself. Or if you have a person that doesn't like alcohol, then you'd go for the non-alcoholic Chuhai. It's interesting. I wonder if this would be cool to give to your child. Something would seem a bit weird giving your child a non-alcoholic Chuhai. I mean, yes, it's like a soda, but I don't know, just the optics of it. I wonder what my wife would think about that. All right. And then we've got some foreign liquors right here. It's kind of interesting. I'm pretty into vodka. I mean, I drink probably once a month, so not very often, but I do love vodka. And this is the Zubrovska, which has some, a strand of lemongrass in there. Why? I don't know. Probably gives it some flavor, and it's a bit of a marketing thing. I mean, why would you go Smirnoff if you could have a piece of grass in your vodka, right? Of course, if you're a gin guy, then you have to go Bombay Sapphire. Good stuff. Or Tanqueray 10. I was given a bottle of that once. It was all right. I remember getting hungover on it, which kind of sucked. All right, and then you've got the whiskey section. Like I said, whiskey is huge here, and you got the Four Roses, which is kind of swill in America. This is sort of actually has a good reputation here. So it's interesting that, you know, it's got a good reputation here, whereas in the States it's kind of a crap reputation. So, you know, it's interesting that I was really surprised about that. You got Early Times and Canadian Club, Maker's Mark. I went to the distillery Maker's Mark. Really good tour. Wild Turkey. I went to Wild Turkey. What else? I went to Jim Beam and LeBreau and Graham. I went to a bunch of them when I was there. You got some Scotch whiskey. Of course, all Scotch whiskey has a bit of American bourbon in it because they get the leftover barrels. So there's a bit of bourbon in there. A bit of American bourbon. Got Suntory, like Bill Murray had. It's Suntory time. Some really good stuff up here. This is the top shelf stuff, except for this. This is I guess this is flask size and keep in your pocket. And yes, I've kept stuff like this in my pocket, gone to bars and clubs in Japan in my younger years. I remember I would go and I'd pay 2,000 yen to get into this place with 4 drink tickets. So that's $20. You got 4 drinks. I would buy this before I went and put them in my pocket, go into the door, go into the bathroom, drink the whole thing in one chug, go back out, and then start on my tickets. And by the time I got my first drink, I was right. It was a fun club. That was in Nagoya. It was called ID Bar. There's multiple floors, different types of music, really good. Got my first Japanese girlfriend from that place. Yeah, anyway, Suntory White, no clue what that is, no clue what any of this is. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed a little bit of what's going down with Japanese alcohol. Thanks for watching. See you next time.